Ladies and gentlemen, episode 5. As always, I'm your host, Jesty, and joining me is the one, the only, the now drone pilot,
Woo,
Plague. How's it going,
woo.
buddy?
Dude. So much has happened. Oh my
So much has
god,
changed.
so much has changed.
It feels like it's been so long since we've talked to the people.
The people need to know. They
The
crave
people, the
information.
people need to know. Plague, tell them why I called you a drone pilot today.
So a little bit of a teaser was said at the end of the last episode of episode 4. But there were some big things moving. One of which was the opportunity of a new job. And I fucking aced it. I got the job. They seem to really like me. I'm very much excited. There's a lot of studying going on, but no, I'm
Mhm.
going to be an aerial application specialist, which basically boils down to, hey, I get to fly drones around and spray chemicals on things. That's
Yep.
that's a very very brief synopsis, but
Yeah, there's a lot more to it, but
there's a lot more
that's
to it.
these drones are huge.
Yeah, what you were telling me they were like $30,000?
Yeah, each one's like, but when you factor in batteries and whatnot, it's like a $30,000 outfit.
Jeez.
They're really cool. I got to see them today while I was in the office. Which Plague will be working for the same company I work for, which is exciting because that means we get to still work together, but not see each other so much where we'll get sick of each other.
Of course not, which would never happen, obviously.
Yeah, never.
Never happen.
It's exciting stuff. I'm really excited for Plague. It's a great opportunity.
Yeah.
It's a field that not a lot of people are doing. But I was talking with one of the guys that's kind of running it today, and he says we have almost outsold the amount of acreage we're actually able to cover with these drones.
Oh. Oh.
So I think it's going to be a thing that's here to stay,
Yeah. Yeah.
which is very exciting.
To get
So cool.
to get a little serious here for a second. I've been working at the same job for about the last 3.5 years, and a big issue that's been kind of popping up here and there is the idea of job security and job advancement. Um, I had basically hit the level of advancement that I was going to ever be able to hit, unless if my boss were to retire in 30 years. Now, I don't know about you. I personally don't plan to keep working in 30 years. Um, Knock on wood. But yeah, no, job advancement and job security are a big thing for me. This new position, this aerial application specialist, will allow me to spend more time with my wife. I'll be finally working day hours for the first time in 3.5 years. I'm
Yeah.
getting a $3.50 pay boost, which bit of information, I asked for $2 more than what I was making, and they gave me the max amount. Just out of the kindness of their heart.
Yeah, it's super exciting. I was so happy when they told me that.
Yeah.
Our HR lady, she was giving me some.
Uh,
Anyways, we'll talk about that in a second, maybe.
yeah, holy shit.
Um, our HR lady was like, "Oh, is your friend okay?" I was like, "Oh, I didn't get the job. That sucks." She had offered Plague the job 20 minutes before that, but she couldn't
Mm-hmm.
tell me she offered him the job.
She had messaged me. She had sent me a text message being like, "By the way, Jesty knows nothing." I'm like, "Nice." But
Yeah,
I was
she gassed me, and I was full panic mode.
too excited to actually kind of roll with the secret. The second that he did message me, I was like, "Yeah, I got the fucking job." You're like, "What's the news?" So, buddy, what's going on?
Yeah, because I'm like, "Oh, I better comfort my friend because I know he's really excited." Uh, so I better talk to him. And just I got the fucking job, and I walked into our HR lady's office. Um, and I was like, "Hey, how dare you?"
But no,
Also,
it's very exciting. But no, it's going to be again, just my last day at my current job is tomorrow. And
yeah,
then right away on Monday I'm jumping into a field that I don't have a lot of experience with, which is my favorite way to learn. A lot of people
yeah,
don't like getting thrown to the wolves. Me personally, as long as if people will be patient, that's my favorite way to learn because then I absorb the information easier. But yeah, no, I'm starting a brand new journey, end of an era and the beginning of another.
Yeah.
And then also on top of that, there were two things that I brought up at the end of last podcast. So the other thing also happened. I bought a new car.
You did. You did buy a new car.
I am financially stable
Kona.
enough to get a new car.
The Kona.
The Hyundai Kona. It's such a sick little beast of a thing. It's like a mini crossover SUV. The thing just gets like 35 miles to the gallon. Fucking has everything I could ever want. It is the newest car that anyone in my family has ever owned.
It's a nice little car. I like it a lot.
It's really nice. It's a slick little thing, and I was in a financially good enough spot to be able to do that, and that feels good. That's a good feeling. I don't want to let that get to my head, but that's a good feeling. But yeah, so both things that could have happened actually happened, and things are working out. So that's fantastic.
Everything's coming up plague. It's wild.
Everything's coming up plague. It's wild. So, real quick, we had a bit
Real
of breaking news.
Yeah.
Go ahead.
Akira Toriyama died.
Akira Toriyama, the creator of Dragon Ball Z, Dr. Slump, Sandland,
Blue Dragon.
Blue Dragon, yes, Blue Dragon.
Passed away.
Passed away. Holy shit.
That's a huge blow.
That is a huge, huge blow.
Even if you're not a fan of Dragon Ball, chances are, if you like anime and you're about our age, you probably know of anime and like anime in some form or fashion because of Dragon Ball.
Yeah, it is the godfather of anime. It's what
Yeah.
mainstreamed it for a lot of people, even back then.
That is bananas.
My wife just told me as well, he was only 68.
Yeah.
Which, again, that's a full life. Like, that's a good life, but he definitely had way more in him.
Yeah, 68 is not real old, but the impact and legacy he's leaving behind is second to none.
Yeah, no, 100%. The guy is a fucking Rolodex of achievements that few others could ever meet. Like, I've talked a lot of shit about Dragon Ball on, like, episode 1.
Yeah.
Still the pillar of the anime community, and this is a tragic loss.
Yeah. Those are big shoes.
Yeah. Holy cow.
I would argue that Dragon Ball kind of saved anime.
In a sense.
I don't think anime would be nearly as popular in the Western world if it wasn't for Dragon Ball.
No, I would 100% agree with that statement, and I feel like not even just the Western world, but like everywhere knows Goku. Everyone knows Dragon Ball or Dragon Ball Z.
Yep, absolutely.
It's a big hit. Oh my god.
Yeah, that's a big bummer.
Yeah. I don't know how we're gonna come back from that. I'm not gonna lie to you.
I don't know. That's breaking news. We're never on the edge of things.
No, never. We stream so late. We record so late that normally everything's done for the day.
Yeah.
Oh man.
Yeah, that's absolutely. I'm a little flabbergasted if I'm being honest.
Taken aback. Genuinely taken aback.
And also, gang, I'm sorry if I seem a little distracted. I'm dealing with some family stuff on the side here. But it's shocking. It's crazy.
Yeah. Well, I mean, rest in peace to an absolute legend.
Yeah.
I wonder how that's going to affect Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4 or Sparking Zero.
I don't know. I don't know if it'll affect Dragon Ball Z Budokai Tenkaichi 4 because that story is already written.
Yeah.
So, my gripe with Dragon Ball Z games is just the same game over and over and over again.
Yeah.
But we had like 6 characters.
We had the 6 characters that have showed up since the last game.
Yep.
Which I still stand by the fact that if you want to learn the Dragon Ball story, learn it through the games.
I agree.
You can pick up any one of the games and they will tell you the entire story and they will clear cut it for you.
And if you like the games, go ahead and watch it. It's fun.
If you like the world, for sure.
Yeah. Yep.
But Adepticon's coming around the corner.
Adepticon is in 2 weeks.
2 weeks. You
The
excited?
armies are my armies are painted. I'm so excited. I love going every year. Next year I'm gonna try to drag Plague down and make him play games with people he doesn't know.
Ooh, my favorite.
My armies are painted. The only thing I have left to do is finish the display board, which is behind me here.
You showed me a little bit of it, and it looks really good.
Yeah, I can't really show it, unfortunately, because I have some, like, resin drawing. But it's like a sewerscape. And we have to have a story with our board. So our story is this guy here. He's, like, on the ground full of arrows. He's recently been promoted to captain. He's young. He's really young captain. And they're like, hey, we need you to go in the sewer. Go kill some rats. And he's like, kill rats? I'm a captain now. Why do I gotta go kill rats? It's a dumb assignment. Blah, blah, blah. Gets down there, and it sounds like the sewer is crawling.
Ooh.
So this display board is for Skaven, which is just Ratmen.
Ooh.
It's also an army that is going to go to Plague.
Heck yeah.
After Adepticon, because it's an army I don't really have interest in playing, and I think I mentioned this before on the pod. I don't really have an interest in playing it, but a group of guys were like, "Hey, we need a fourth to play this in this team tournament. Do you want to be our fourth?" And I said, "Sure." So I bought enough for 1,000 points, which is about half what you need for an army. But it's all your baseline troops that anyone would need. You know, clan rats, which are your basic rats, and plague monks, which are just plague rats.
So I have a whole thematic going, and I have to dive into that thematic at any point. It is such an interesting way to live your life, but going balls to the wall with what you want your brand to be is real fun. So yeah, I'm gonna play the fucking plague rats. Of course, they're cool. They're little guys. They're little
They're
fellas.
really cool. They're super cool. It's a cool army, but it's just one of those things. I like big orcs, right? Big orcs. This is, and with Adepticon coming up, I'm getting ready. I'm trying out lists for my actual tournament, the single tournament, which is what I care about actually competing in. I play 2 armies essentially, somewhat competitively. I'm not like a Giga Chad mega gamer or anything, but I play the Iron Jaws, which are like big, just brutish orcs.
Yeah.
And the Giants, which you've seen on the pod before. I've shown them off before.
Yep.
So I'm kind of going back and forth. Go ahead.
You tend to have kind of a bad history when it comes to little fellas. Where I just remember that you had a Blood Bowl league recently.
Yeah. So yeah, Blood Bowl season 5 of our league is wrapped up. Well, the playoffs have started.
Wrapped up for you.
Wrapped up for me. I played Snotlings this season, and I just got stomped out every game, which is kind of expected, especially when you're not playing a lot of the star players. I didn't want to play star player plus Snotlings. I wanted to play Snotlings.
Yep.
So Plague played a little bit of Blood Bowl, and he played the Black Orcs, which they're all strength 4 pieces. Really good. Snotlings are strength 1 pieces. So that means everything is rolling 3 block dice every time they hit one. And they just get removed because they're armor 6. So an average dice roll removes them from the board.
You can usually kind of tell what type of person will gravitate towards what type of like archetype of a character. You bleed the aura of someone who, I am the shield, I am the wall, I'm the big guy that's going to stop you.
Anvil.
Yes.
Yeah.
So little fellas, I mean, it's fun to kind of change it up every once in a while.
It was a little out of my comfort zone. That being said, in Blood Bowl, like my favorite team to play is the Elven Union, which is a very fast, I'm going to score team.
Sometimes getting out of your comfort zone is very fun.
Yeah. That being said, I do love the Black Orc team. I love it is just a wall. It's just a curtain.
Yeah, absolutely.
I thought about doing Blood Bowl at Adepticon instead of the singles tournament, but you know, the more I thought about them, I'm like, I don't love competitive Blood Bowl. I love I love a season of Blood Bowl because like your guys level up, they gain skills. You're like, oh, Goblin Brady is my guy.
Goblin Brady, huh? I
Yeah,
love it. Yeah,
yeah,
no, you
yeah.
can
This
actually
Goblin
see
that
your players grow.
yeah, and then you feel a little sad when you watch your players just oh I've had this Goblin for the entire season. He's leveled up a bunch. He's scored a bunch of touchdowns, and then he runs into a troll and dies. Because that
Yep.
can happen in a season.
Yep.
Because your star player can just die.
Yep.
Um,
Blood Bowl is one of the few games that I'm very interested in starting to learn. Warhammer's going to take a little bit more. I know a lot about it, but we'll see. But I actually sat
yeah,
down and played a little bit of Blood Bowl, like Jesty was saying, and no, I had a good time with it.
yeah. You played against the part-time host of the show, Grizzly.
Mm-hmm.
He finally came up with a name.
Grizzly, that's my guy.
He's not on this episode. He had some stuff come up, so he wasn't able to be on.
Yeah,
Hoping to get him on one of the next 2 episodes. It'll kind of be a Grizzly special. You guys will get to meet him. Real great guy. We love having him around.
absolutely. We're gonna drill the ever-loving heck out of him.
We're gonna hear about his characters, D&D wise. He's kind of new to D&D. This will be his 4th or 5th campaign that he's in with us.
Mm-hmm.
He's a barbarian main, and he plays a barbarian well. I like the way he plays barbarian.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
He doesn't typically play smash, which I like a lot.
He plays a very colorful barbarian, which is very interesting. I love the fact that we can say, "Oh, they're new to D&D," because it's been years at this point.
Yeah,
We've been playing for years, and we're still. Because I'm also in the same boat as Grizzly,
Yeah.
where this will be my 3rd campaign that we're currently in. So he's played one more than me, and it's like, yeah, we're just scratching the surface of what D&D is all about.
yeah.
But no, I'm excited to have him on.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
me too. It'll be a good time. And he might even fill in for an episode or 2 while Plague might be on vacation. I might be on vacation.
Yep.
But it's exciting stuff. Yeah, that's all I'm doing really for Adepticon. Just getting ready, getting lists made. Gotta start playing some test games, going through the motions.
Mm-hmm.
Just so I know my rules like the back of my hand, because I'm going to be playing 10 games of Age of Sigmar over 4 days, which is a lot of Age of Sigmar.
That's a lot.
It's a lot of rolling dice.
I think you got this.
Well, last year I did the same thing, and I was like, I don't want to do this again next year. And then a week went by after Adepticon, and I was like, God, that is the most fun I've had in a long time. Because the way it worked in the singles tournament, my army played so fast. I still had like an hour between rounds. I'd go walk the floor, and
Yeah.
you know, I couldn't get any game demos in, but I could still go walk the floor and enjoy myself, you know.
Go up and down Artist Alley a little bit.
Yeah, so that's not so much a thing at Adepticon. It's more
Oh.
like vendors bring their games, like their new games.
Okay.
I'm hoping to pick up like Don't Look Back.
Oh, that's the one you were showing me, right?
Yeah, so it's like a horror game. It's a PvE horror game. Plague is very excited about it because we talked about it a little bit.
Yeah,
because
yeah.
It's like classic splash. You got Jason, Freddy, Michael Myers.
The best one. Sorry.
And then like your survivors are like classic survivor groups. You got like the Golden Girls,
Oh, yeah.
Mystery Inc., Sam and Dean Winchester. There's all these options to play these characters, and you have to like, it's kind of like a Dead by Daylight thing where you kind of have to like complete objectives and stuff to win without getting, you know, slashed.
Mm-hmm.
So I'm gonna get that, and all the expansions for the game come in like VHS like slide out cases.
So
Which is
cool.
so cool. It's such a great way to present a game. It's just, I love that because when you look on the shelf and you just have all the like little VHS tapes,
Mm-hmm.
and, you know, they're like, oh, what's this? You got a VCR? No, it's a game. Let me show you.
Yep. It's a
It becomes
talking
a
point.
conversation piece. And this company also provides STLs for like alternative sculpts for monsters and stuff, which is very cool. Plague and I are just a factory at this point.
Yeah, it's really true. No, I'm having a blast listening to all these new and exciting games. Like literally just before the podcast, he brought one up
Mhm.
called Hero Throne,
Dice Throne.
Dice
It's
Throne.
like a card-based dice game with like Yahtzee rules. It's like
Ooh.
D&D meets Yahtzee. It's it's really cool. My boss brought it in and we played it for like kind of like a team building. Like, hey, we haven't been around each other like at all the last like month.
Let's just sit down
Because
and play a game.
it's been one of those things where we've all just been flying around,
Mm-hmm.
and it's like, he's like, hey, let's get together, let's do some team building here, and let's play this game. And we played it, and it's fun, it's fast paced, and there's a million ways to play it, which is really exciting.
I feel like tabletop gaming has just something for everyone. There's just so much appeal to it's not even just about D&D. Just so much appeal. Like you just brought up a horror-based tabletop game.
Yeah,
Do you know how many people will play that just because of the fact that it's horror-based?
yeah. Well, look at games like Marvel Crisis Protocol.
Mhm.
It is a game where you go, I want to play Spider-Man, Venom, Carnage, I want to play all of them, and then you're playing Hulk, She-Hulk, and Red Hulk. That's your team.
Mhm.
And I got my team of guys. You know how many people got into miniature games just because of Marvel Crisis Protocol?
Probably a
ton.
lot. Yeah,
A ton.
probably a
It's
lot.
like, oh, I can put miniatures together with Spider-Man. Oh, I can play 7 different Spider-Men.
Oh, and
That
now
can be
I
my
can
team.
now I can play a better game. Oh my gosh. Now that
Plague
I'm done
doesn't
with
like
this.
Marvel.
Not a big
Uh,
comic book nerd. I
no.
wouldn't say it's not that I don't like it because I have I have a couple of favorite heroes here and there. I've watched a good chunk of the movies. It's I dedicate my time to a lot of things and there's just not
Not enough
enough
time
to
with that.
keep me. Yeah, not enough time of day. Not enough
Yeah.
to keep me invested.
But then that company went and made Star Wars Shatterpoint, which is like I have my Jedi as my like leader, and then I have a clone general and 2 clones.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty cool.
Not bad.
It's not. I want to love Shatterpoint. It's just one of those games where it has a lot of like rules from other games that I've played, and I'm like, I should just play these games I already have models for.
Yeah, I get
Like
that.
a big one is like Arena Rex, which is like gladiators,
Ooh.
which is really cool. I don't have enough models to play 2 players worth of stuff for that, but
You got some models.
I have some models. I have a faction of it.
Hey, there you go. Yeah,
And
no,
I want to love it. I want to like it a lot, but
tabletop gaming just so interesting. People really
it's
need to start
evolved.
giving it a chance if you haven't already.
Yeah, and I'm gonna sound like if you invite me over for board games and you pull out Cards Against Humanity, I'm leaving.
Ooh, are we going into it?
Ooh,
Oh.
dude, there's so many great and fantastic board games.
Mm-hmm.
I don't love Ticket to Ride, but if you pull out Ticket to Ride, I'll be like, okay, we're gonna play a board game.
Mm-hmm.
Same with Monopoly. I don't want to play Monopoly. I don't want to play Cards Against Humanity.
The issue. Go ahead.
I want to play a game that's gonna like engage my brain.
The issue with Cards Against Humanity, because I will be the first to admit, back when Cards Against Humanity first came out, that was so much fun. I have so many great memories of playing Cards Against Humanity.
Yeah.
But the how simple the game is, no matter what you come up with, at this point in time, we've heard it all. We've seen it all.
Yeah.
There's only so many times you can place down big black cock.
Yeah.
It stops being funny at a certain point. What?
It's still funny when you just say it.
Yeah, but in the context of Cards Against Humanity, you've seen it already. You're expecting someone to make no sense.
And it's just like ha 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 ha. Like I'm just not having fun with it anymore.
If you're going to play a game like that where it's basically, hey, let's just try to make each other laugh, vary it up. There's also like, what do you meme? The entirety of the Jackbox Party Pack. How many times can you put cum on the board? I'm still gonna laugh. But
Yeah,
like you
it's
gotta
true.
have you gotta have some variety in there. You gotta
it's
just keep
just
changing it up. Cards Against Humanity has been kind of stale because it's just so simple. And that's
yep.
a blessing and a curse because it got a lot of people into it. But now the
Mhm.
people that are into it play the same jokes all the time and you've seen it all. Just change it up.
Yeah, like I said, there's so many great and fantastic board games, so many great fantastic tabletop games. Like I could bust out 6 games of Blood Bowl, like 6 separate. I have enough stuff for 6 separate games of Blood Bowl,
Jeez.
and we could run those same games back 6 times, and every single game will be different.
Yep.
You know, it's one of those things like you said, Cards Against Humanity. You can only play the same card so many times before you're like, haha,
Ha ha ha. Wow, you put agriculture. That's so funny.
quirky.
Wow. No, just change it up. No, like you can just go out and buy any other board game at this point.
Yeah.
10 years ago? No, 12 years ago? Yeah, Cards Against Humanity was the shit.
Yeah,
Now it's like
the game.
The only time that I'll accept playing Cards Against Humanity is if I'm playing with a brand new group of people that I have not played it with before.
Yeah.
Because then at least I don't know what to expect. Like,
Yeah.
what are your levels? Am I good to put down the Hitler card now?
Yeah. Like, it's one of those things. You and I don't play Cards Against Humanity with each other.
Right.
We never have. But you can kind of know what to expect from me.
And you can kind of know what to expect from me.
Yep. Even like if we played with one of our friends, Astro, or if we played with your wife, I would know what to expect from them.
Yep.
So it's like, I don't want to play it anymore.
I don't want to play it anymore. Let's
Grow
do
up.
something. Jeez.
Get different games. Get
Jesus
better
Christ.
games.
Calm down. Jesus Christ. Daddy, chill.
Jesus
Christ. This place is a hellscape.
This is a hellscape. Speaking of hellscapes, Helldivers 2 is doing live service so good. This is what live service should be. So they tease the mechs. Devs have been dropping into games and dropping mechs, right? And they're like, oh, coming from the Taiwan Con plant or factories. The automatons just assaulted Taiwan Con.
We gotta go get those. They can't have our mechs.
And the mission is now the order is liberate Taiwan Con. Then we get the mechs. If we fail, the automatons will have mechs.
I can't believe that's how you do it. It keeps people interested.
And then they also were like, oh, by the way, we're releasing another new War Bond thing. By the way, when you get one of the War Bond things, you just have it.
Yep.
You'll just until as long as it takes you to complete it, you just have it.
It's a battle pass with big air quotes. If you couldn't see me, like, oh my gosh, it's free content.
The premium one has way less stuff, and it's harder to get all the premium stuff than it is to get the free stuff.
Yeah, there's no point to spend like, you guys are doing great, Helldivers 2 devs, but there's no point to spend money.
No.
You can just earn. You can get money in game.
Yeah, you can earn super credits quickly.
Yep, just through playing the game. I love that. That every single game needs to, if they have microtransactions at all, need to implement that.
Yep, and now they patched it. Armor matters now. Some of the stratagems aren't auto includes anymore.
Yep.
Some of the weapons aren't auto picks anymore.
Exactly. You got to keep it fresh.
Like I said,
do what feels comfortable.
Today when they released the propaganda poster and it was like delayed, like splash across the mechs deploying from Taiwan Con factories, and then it popped up with the automatons are assaulting Taiwan Con. I was like, whoa.
We gotta go.
I gotta go.
I'm doing my part.
That is how you do a live service game.
Yep.
It is what making players want to play because they're like, well, I don't want the automatons to have the mechs. I want the mechs.
Yeah, the mechs would be so cool to play with.
And on your topic of you don't have to spend money, I have no issues supporting a company that is doing something like this.
Yeah.
I have no issue spending real money
Right. I
on super
100%
credits,
agree.
even though I can just earn them.
There's a difference between you wanting to support a company that you feel is doing a good job and
Yep.
spending money because you're locked out of content.
Yep.
Unless if you spend money.
Yeah.
That's the big difference here. They're doing it in a way where it's like, I have no issue with dropping $10 here and there. Oh, I
Yeah.
really like that armor set. I'll just get,
Mhm.
you know what? I have super credits sitting that I've already bought just because
Yeah.
it's like, I just want to support the company.
Yeah. Well, and even when you buy credits, you can for $10, that's 2 full sets of armor plus helmets.
Yep.
And none of them have effects that you can't unlock on other armors in the free battle pass.
Yep, exactly.
Like I said, there's nothing that you can't unlock in the battle pass for free.
Yeah, all the
That's
armors have something that's
so-
just easily obtainable.
Yeah. And it's stuff that doesn't like break the game. It's like one of them's like, oh, have 30% further throw range when you wear this armor.
Yep.
30% less recoil when crouching or kneeling when you're wearing this armor.
2 extra stims, and stimming lasts
Yep.
1 second longer.
2 extra grenades.
Yep.
You know. But that's the same on the premium armor. You're paying for a cosmetic. You're not paying for, anything else.
Which is the right way to do it.
Yep. I like it a lot. Plus, then we get to play Fashion Divers.
I love Fashion Divers.
Me too.
It's so good. Making your little guy just look as good as he possibly can while he goes in and stomps some bugs or breaks some machines. It's
Stack
great.
scrap and spill oil, baby.
Stack scrap and spill oil. Absolutely. No, I Helldivers is staying fresh for me because they're doing stuff like this. They're constantly implementing things that make me want to boot up the game again.
Yep. Well, they're also adding new enemies.
Yep.
New enemies is a big one. Except for stalkers are a problem. Stop.
Yeah, I've been stalked before.
Joel.
Joel.
There's too many stalkers in these games. For those of you that don't know, they also unveiled that there's a game master to Helldivers. And they're like, his name is Joel, and he takes his job very seriously. Basically adjusting the difficulty for worlds if we're taking them too fast or they're taking our worlds too fast.
Yep.
Etc.
He'll come up. He'll wake up in the middle of the night and just hop on and fix it.
Yep.
Or make it a lot worse.
Which means there's someone that's very passionate about the game, which means the game is going to be well taken care of.
Agreed.
And it just warms my heart.
Warms my little gamer heart. Companies who care in 2024.
2024 is the year of the indie game.
It is. It is.
If Helldivers keeps up like this, because like the player base hasn't really dropped.
No, there's still hundreds of thousands of people playing.
It's just stayed steady, and it's like,
that's impressive.
Yeah, it's real good.
When did Helldivers come out? It came out like a month ago, right?
Yeah.
Most games lose 70% of their player base by like week 3, and they've kept a good chunk of it.
They're doing good.
They're doing good.
The game's been really, really fun.
I can't say the same about this being the year of indie games because this is also the year of JRPGs for me. Plague's JRPG time. I've been talking up and down the street about Like a Dragon Infinite Wealth. I've been posting some TikToks, been posting some shorts, threw up some stuff on YouTube. Very fun, very interesting. Just some wild and wacky moments. But I also finally started Final Fantasy VII Rebirth.
You did.
Listen here.
Because Ghosty told him that if he waits to play it on stream, he'll never get it played.
Yeah.
Ghosty being Plague's wife.
Yeah. So
And
I definitely had to play it.
I agreed with her while we were sitting in Discord.
So the new job is definitely going to open up my stream schedule for the most part, besides 2 months out of the year where I will be making money.
Yep. So the way Plague's new job works is there's essentially 24 days that they can spray this specific chemical. There's 24 days a year, so they have to be spraying from sun up to sundown.
Yep. Which
is going to suck because that's a lot of hours. But those paychecks gonna be fat.
And it's 24 days. I have
Yep.
done longer strings of fasting, even though I don't look it. That was because of depression. But still,
Yeah.
no, like, Final Fantasy VII Rebirth has the whole remake trilogy that they're coming out with has a very special place in my heart because it's the, I'm on the correct timeline sort of game where it's like, my favorite game growing up was Final Fantasy VII. By the time I became a teenager, it kind of flipped to Silent Hill 2, but Silent Hill 2, but Final Fantasy VII always had a place in my heart. It was always my tie for number one. And then it's just, oh, hey, in 2015, at the last good E3, they announced, oh, we're remaking the games. I'm like, the little kid in me was just screaming. I think I cried. And yeah, no, I finally, Rebirth came out on the 29th of February. I am going about it in a more healthy way. When Remake came out in 2020, I binged it for 16 hours a day until it was done. It was literally 3 days and I finished the game. Wake up, sit on the couch, play it, go to bed. Doing it much more healthy now.
Yeah, especially with this new job, after your busy season's done, you'll be able to just relax. And I know you and Ghosty like to just hang out and play games together.
Yeah. My wife loves watching me play through games that I'm very passionate about. It's one of the cornerstones of our relationship. Like, when we started dating, Persona 5 had just come out. And that's also one of my favorite games. And I played through it, had her watch parts of it, and then I literally sat and watched her play through that entire game. Persona, every single Persona game is at minimum 100 hours.
Yeah.
So just that's kind of a cornerstone of our relationship. And so I'm doing that with this. And it's been a blast. The game is beautiful. Characters are just amazing. They were in 1997. They still are now. There's a character in Final Fantasy VII that actually looks a lot like Grizzly, which is kind of funny.
It is true.
He the resemblance is uncanny.
It is. Grizzly's a big bearded dude.
Yeah, he's a big bearded dude with that fade, and there's a big bearded dude with a fade.
Fade.
Oh man. No, I literally, when I first opened the game and I first put it on, I was like, I really want to stream this just so I can see Grizzly's reaction.
Yeah.
He's like, that's me. What am I doing
I'm
in the game? I'm in the game. I'm back in the fucking game. I'm back in the fucking game. But no, it's been a blast. JRPGs are so good. Don't let the time required to actually play through it scare you. You're gonna wish there was more. Almost every single good JRPG, I was like, I wish there were more hours.
And JRPGs, you can kind of just do it at your own pace. If you're like, I'm getting tired of this, leave and come back.
Yeah, 100%.
Okay.
100%.
Okay. But so last Saturday we didn't have D&D, so Plague and I were gonna have a Gundam build day, and then my wife's plans kind of changed. So I ended up staying home. But we both built Gundams anyways.
We did.
Well, you built a Gundam.
You're halfway there.
I started a Gundam.
Yeah.
My son was like,
oh,
my son's very much like a little peeking guy. Or if I'm working on something, he'll like climb up, stand up, and he'll be like,
"What you doing over there, Dad?
What you got there?" Let me just get my little mitts in there.
Let me just get my hands in there.
Which isn't great when you have an X-Acto knife, sharp nippers, etc.
But yeah, no, it's building Gundams is a hobby that I didn't have for a long period of time. I did it a lot when I was a kid. And then I just dropped it for a long time. And then recently I started getting back into it. And it's just so fun when things come together.
Just the snap.
Yep. Just a little snap.
Clippers, just
when you're like, oh, I got the head done. Oh, it looks so good. Here, I'll actually show mine first here. I'm gonna make it just me real quick.
Plague is a big fan of Zaku's.
I'm a big fan of Zaku's. I think they're all so cool. My favorite Gundam mobile suit is the Goof, the good old
The
Goof.
Goof.
Um,
The Goof.
but I actually completely finished Char's Red Comet Zaku 2. He's got all of his little things, and like he's real cool and stuff, and he's definitely better than yours. But he could beat him in a fight. What do you mean? No, shut up. No, look at him. He's so cool. Anyways,
So, yeah, I wish I could. I wish I could look at him.
well, you will. You'll see it in post production. All right.
Yeah, and I started a stray blue frame. He's just
Oh,
a
there he
torso
is.
and an arm. This is a very like tight like Gundam.
Oh.
Like all the joints are super tight, which I really like.
I can see where that
So
can actually make things easier.
I have a couple like posing arms. So right now I have a Mark II on one of my posing arms, and then a Barbados on another one.
Man, Barbados is so fucking cool.
Yeah, that's my favorite Gundam.
Oh man, Iron Blooded Orphans. If you guys haven't watched Iron Blooded Orphans yet, it is like it's a very short series for a Gundam series. Give it a watch. It tells a story in like 12 to 24 episodes that is just so good.
And if you're privy to Gundam, laser weapons don't really exist. So it's brutal.
Yeah.
The Barbados is like one of the Barbados's main weapons is just a giant fuck you club.
A giant fuck you club. Oh, I've been there.
And yeah, it's a lot more of the like melee action of Gundam, which I really like.
I also am a big fan of the melee oriented Gundams.
Plague and I talked about it a bit, and I was like, I would recommend Iron Blooded Orphans as a first Gundam series. I've since revisited it, and I agree with Plague. I don't think it's a very good.
Not a good
First.
one.
It's a good second.
It's a good second. Like,
Because then you have the realization of like, oh, laser weapons are kind of the shit.
and
And then you're watching these rats of society who found a Gundam.
someone told me that Gundam Iron Blooded Orphans is just Tengen Toppa Gurren Lagann if they had money.
You're not wrong. That's also one of my favorite animes. So
Yeah.
it makes sense.
It makes sense. If you want a good Gundam starter anime and you're like getting into anime as a whole and want, what are these mecha animes about? Let me know. Let me dabble into mecha anime. Well, there's this little known anime that I feel like a lot of you guys would really like. It's called Attack on Titan. It's just a Gundam anime.
It's just Gundams.
It's
all
just a
Gundams.
mecha. No, if you want to dabble your foot into
Meat mecha.
Meat mecha. Oh, I don't like that. Ugh. If you do want to dabble into Gundam, I heavily recommend G Gundam, like the letter G Gundam. It's flavor of the week. New villain becomes your friend. It's very old shonen. It's one of those classic animes, so you can see all the hand-drawn animation. But it's like every single country in Earth has their own representative for a Gundam. Like France has a Rose Gundam. America has Gundam Maxter, which is a boxing champion. Mexico has Tequila Gundam.
Tequila Gundam.
Yeah.
You have the media page up, right?
No, I don't have the media page up yet. Do you want me to pull it up for now? I'm gonna pull it up. I'm gonna pull it up here.
I need people to see Tequila Gundam.
So, bit of a spoiler as to what's coming in a bit. We're gonna be doing a D&D class list, tier list.
I need the people to see Tequila Gundam.
Tequila Gundam is a wild ride. I'm
Tequila
sorry,
Gundam.
audio listeners. We're taking a little bit on this, but I fucking love it. Send me a link.
This is from the show. Yeah. Why don't you just Google search Tequila Gundam?
You know what? Because I don't know what my search history is going to show up if I click on the bar.
You know what? Fair enough. Hang on. Let me go to the link address. Let me see what this pulls up. Oh, it's gonna pull up. It's gonna pull up Tequila Gundam Battle versus the Shining Gundam.
Ooh, yeah.
Here we go. How am I gonna send this to you, Plague? It's gonna mess up the.
I will click it, edit it, or I
Okay.
will click it, come back and edit it. I'm editing this whole part because I don't want people to know about my search history. Okay, I'm going to visit the site. Okay, on the count of 3, we will both hit play on it, and we'll just
Okay.
watch it for a second because I want to do this so bad.
Yeah, we have to. Tequila Gundam was a show till like 30 seconds in.
Okay, 3, 2, 1. Oh, so this here's Tequila Gundam.
This is Shining Gundam.
Well, this is Shining Gundam, but this is like the first introduction of Tequila Gundam.
Yeah.
Oh, move to the right for me. Yeah, there you are. I can see your beautiful face.
This is the car.
Yeah, look at this. This is classic. Like I said, you can see that hand-drawn animation. So this is Neo Japan's Gundam. It's also our main character. Oh!
And here he is.
Oh!
Tequila Gundam.
He's got a sombrero on. He's a little guy.
He's covered in cactuses.
I can't believe it. Oh, little duck Gundams. Oh, that guy got murked. Yo, he just iced those guys. Oh, that's the punching Gundam. Why does he have a trident? Oh, well, Tequila Gundam's gone, boys. Yeah. Yeah.
It's like, got your nose.
Neo Mexico's out of the fight here. That's fine. He showed up. He did what he needed to do, and he left.
I can't. I was absolutely flabbergasted when Tequila Gundam rises out of the water. And he's got a goddamn sombrero.
He's got a sombrero and a trident? Oh, yes. When I think of Mexico, I think of tridents.
He's covered in cactuses?
Cactus Man?
He also has like a brown vest.
You know, if they called him Cactus Gundam, I feel like it would have gone over a bit better. But
I still feel like the sombrero, a bit much.
They had to build that giant sombrero. Why? He gets the sun in his eyes and then he can't shoot the pew-pews as good.
Why?
Oh, God. What a time. Yeah, watch G Gundam. It's full of moments like that.
Gundam it's so good.
It's so good. It's so corny, but it's a good introduction to Gundam.
Yeah, it's fun.
But yeah, no,
All right.
I built my Zaku. You built your blue. Oh God, what was it? Blue Aster?
The Astray blue frame.
Astrea blue frame. Thank you. So yeah, that's what we kind of been doing.
I came to the realization I build a lot of Gundams that have shields and rocket launchers.
Ooh.
I don't need any more rocket launchers. I have like a rocket launcher in like every color. Like
it's your spirit animal. Instead of it being like a fox or anything, it's a rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher.
Rocket launcher.
I mean, that's like back in OG Fortnite, that was like my main weapon. Was the fucking rocket launcher.
Hey, it did the job. It was good.
Yeah, good engage. Something else that happened since last time we talked. Pokemon Day happened.
Oh yeah! Let's talk about it because we have been holding off talking about Pokemon Day.
We have
For this moment.
Yep.
So, what is the reason that you wanted to hold off? You wouldn't even let us talk about it.
Because I know you're very happy about Pokemon ZA. First off, I want to say that Plague and I were almost 100% correct. It was just some bullshit apps.
Yep.
That no one cares about.
Mobile apps, baby.
They dick teased us. I thought we were gonna get Legends Johto. Because
the whole time.
Raiku's like bouncing through the whatever, and I'm like, oh,
and all the unknown throughout the entire presents.
I'm like, oh, it's gonna happen. Pokemon Legends Johto, and then they're like, Pokemon Sleep, get the 3 legendary beasts. I'm like,
what? I'm gonna vomit. If I have
I
to
just
see Raikou sleeping at the side of my bed, I would either shit myself or run away.
I don't. Who's this for?
It's for people who need sleepy bed by honkshu mimi me time.
I guess. So, but the big reveal at the end was, first off, we're not getting a mainline game this year.
First time it's happened in over 12 years?
Yep.
Isn't that crazy? Holy shit.
Absolutely bonkers. We're also not. It's not like we're getting another DLC for Scarlet and Violet either.
No, we're not. Scarlet and Violet's done.
We're just getting nothing.
I'm shocked.
That being said, I do think that ZA will be at the start of next year.
Yeah.
I think it'll be in about March time. Because when did Legends Arceus come out?
I want to say it was January.
Was it January?
I think it was late January.
That I could see that being when ZA comes out.
Hey.
The thing that's concerning about it is we didn't see any gameplay. As opposed when Arceus was announced, we saw gameplay.
Yeah.
So
it could still be a ways away.
My biggest gripe with it is we didn't want Legend ZA. We just wanted a Z version of the game. Give me the black and white 2 for X and Y.
Yeah, I will agree. So I'm very excited about ZA. Why are we skipping the best generation?
I don't know about that, but
no. Why are we skipping a good generation?
I don't know, and that's another reason why I'm frustrated because I black and white is not my favorite generation. It's not. But I do love it. I have very fond memories of it because that's when I started playing competitive Pokemon.
Mm-hmm.
I have very fond memories of Black and White.
Mm-hmm.
And Black and White 2. But why are we skipping that?
Yeah, why are we skipping Gen 5?
The only thing I could think is maybe we're getting like the mainline game is going to be Pokemon Gray next year.
That would be cool. A lot of people doubt it. A lot of people have been saying that our quote-unquote black and white remakes was the second half of the Scarlet and Violet DLC with the Indigo Disc. Oh, look, you're in Unova! Oh, look, all the Unova stuff.
Yeah, but we weren't.
Yeah, but we weren't.
And we didn't get any news on Gen 10.
Nope.
Not super surprising, but a little surprising. We didn't even get, like, names for them. Or anything. That's what's surprising about it, because we didn't get any like names or
we didn't get like a starter silhouette montage sort of thing.
Yeah, which we're not getting it games this year anyways, so maybe it's not that surprising. But I want to be excited about Pokemon ZA. From what they did show, it looks like we're just gonna be in Lumio City.
Right.
Like, basically building the city up.
Yeah.
Which, yay.
Well, okay, now listen. So a lot of people are bringing that up as a negative trait. I think that there are plenty of games out there where they just take place in one city. Grand Theft Auto San Andreas is technically one city, and look at all the stuff you can do there.
Yeah, but this is the Pokemon company we're talking about.
Right, so it's going to be like 3 houses.
Yeah, so it's going to be a game of 12 hours of content.
Well, okay, so the Pokemon Company seems to be listening, and I use that term very loosely because they are one of the big old dinosaurs that hate change.
Mm-hmm.
But people complained that Mega Evolutions weren't around anymore, and now they're bringing them back.
That is something I'm very excited about.
Megas are the best.
Can't wait for Mega Charizard Z.
Oh, no, what do you mean? They're totally going to give Flygon a Mega.
Nope, Mega Charizard Z.
Oh,
you know what he needs? 3 Megas.
He needs 3 Megas, a Dynamax, a Gigantamax.
His own custom Z move.
Yep.
His own terrestrialization.
Yep. But no. like, crap, I lost my train of thought. Oh no. Or what were we talking about?
Mega's coming back.
Oh yeah, no. So Pokemon's listening, knock on wood, because Megas are coming back. People complained that, oh hey, we don't need a Pokemon game every year. Take some time. Every single game you've released recently has been a buggy, ugly mess. And now we're not getting a new game this year.
Yep.
So they're listening. There might be a chance that ZA might be one of the best games they release just because of an extra year.
So my concern is that they're not going to use that time to develop the game extra. They're just going to use the same amount of time, but only release one every other year.
Ooh, that'd be real bad. Ooh, you're a little pessimist, aren't you?
Yep, I'm feeling a little pessimist.
I mean, it is the Pokemon company, so I completely understand it.
The glass is completely empty.
There is no liquid in the glass. You are drinking glass.
Tasty.
Crunchy.
I want to be excited. I really, 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 really want to be excited, but I know in my heart of hearts, it's just not.
At the end of the day, I feel like at least we're going to get a fun Pokemon game. Now, I didn't say good. Some people are very on the fence about Legends Arceus. Personally, I feel like it was the breath of fresh air that the Pokemon series needed, and it bled into Scarlet and Violet really well, and that's why I like those games a lot. But even if they, let's say, perfect world, they actually use the full time to develop this game and make it look great. It's not super buggy on release. There's plenty of content and new forms. I think it's going to be really good. It'll be fun. I'll stay away from the word good. It's going to be fun.
It'll be fun because it always is. Speaking of Scarlet and Violet, though, did you see Toyota? Is making a real life Miraidon motorcycle?
So they didn't have to go that fucking hard, but it looks so good.
Yeah, it looks really good.
Oh man, that's so cool. Yeah, that's just because Violet's better. I get it.
It's not the Paradox forms of Violet are not better than the Paradox forms of Scarlet.
Almost every single one of them are better.
That's so verifiably false.
Iron Valiant is way better than Roaring Moon.
You are so wrong.
I want my transgender king queen over dumb moon lizard.
Look, I even like Iron Valiant. Okay?
Yeah.
But Iron Jugulus is dumb.
Iron Jugulus is cool.
Iron Thorn, dumb. Iron Hands, dumb.
Wait,
Iron Tread, dumb.
No, Iron Thorns is cool because it's just like Black and White with the Mecha Godzilla reference.
Dumb.
No. Iron Bundle? You're telling me Iron Bundle is dumb?
Yes.
Why?
Because who asked for that?
Me.
Did you were like, oh man, I wish Delibird had a new form.
I wish Delibird had fucking something. It had nothing. It's the worst Pokemon.
It's just, you're telling me that you think Iron Tread is cooler than Great Tusk.
Great Tusk is better than Iron Tread.
You're going to tell me, well, Fluttermane and Iron Bundle are both the low tiers of this.
I do. So here's the thing. It's not that I dislike the Scarlet Paradoxes. It's that I like the Iron or the Violet ones more. Like Fluttermane's great, but you're going to sit here and tell me that Screamtail is a winner?
Okay, look, sometimes there's some stinkers.
Like, okay, so Iron Jugulus, I get it. It's ugly, but it's got a good typing, and it brought love to Hydreigon.
Part of it is I love Hydreigon.
Yeah.
He's like in my top 5.
Yeah. Like,
I hate Iron Jugulus.
I will give you this, and this is one of the few things that made us start talking about creating a podcast. The one thing that Scarlet does better than Violet is the legendary trio Paradox forms. Walking Wake, the Raikou one and the Entei one are so much better than the Gen 5 ones.
They're all
so much better. I want to say what?
Ooh, watch what you say right now. You watch what you say right
I
now.
want to say right now, Walking Wake is probably in my top 10 favorite Pokemon.
Ugh.
And I think it's Roaring Bolt is the Raikou one. You're such a good design. Look, that's the best of the three.
Here's my issue with it. Like, here's the biggest issue. They just retconned all of Gen 2. The entire story of Gen 2 doesn't matter anymore.
Well, no, these are like convergent paradoxes.
No.
The fuck was that?
What?
You literally just had an orb float across your screen. I really hope I fucking caught that. We're gonna start a ghost hunting channel. Just going over Jesse's house. Oh yeah, pull out the automaton. Yes.
Get back. Get back. It's dead.
Oh no, that was super creepy. I'm sorry for that tangent. I just saw an orb float and just stay there. Anyways.
They just retconned all of Gen 2.
But the evolutions needed to die.
For the plot.
The evolutions. So are you mad at the evolutions because it was supposed to be a Flareon, Jolteon, and Vaporeon that died in the
Why would I
tower?
be mad at the evolutions?
Because those aren't those completely step all over Gen 2's story.
No, it isn't.
Because
they died in the tower. They died in the tower, and Ho-Oh was like, "Oh, my special little babies, I will give you more power."
If we evolved from monkeys, why still monkeys?
We're done talking about this plague.
If Raikou, Suicune, and Entei evolved from them, why still them?
They didn't. They didn't evolve from them.
They were a Flareon, a Jolteon, and a Vaporeon that died in the tower.
Roaring Wake, Roaring Thunder, and Roaring Mane are not.
Yeah, they're cool.
No.
They're okay. The Entei one's ugly.
Here's my thing, Plague. I think the Entei one's the best looking one.
Oh, you're so fucking wrong.
Ooh, Plague,
I don't like that. I don't like that.
We're fighting on Saturday.
He's got a dumb fucking hat.
You got a dumb hat.
You bought me this hat.
A beanie. I know you're wearing a beanie.
Yeah, you bought me this hat. Why'd you buy me a dumb hat? I like this dumb hat.
Yeah,
from my friend.
It's on a dummy head. That's why it's a dumb hat.
You take that back right fucking now.
I'm not going to. Because here's the thing, Plague. Had they been the futuristic versions, I would not have had a problem with them. Had the roles been reversed, I wouldn't have had a problem with it. The issue is there's an established story for those three Pokemon, and they just because reasons.
I'm not gonna lie to you. I'm pretty sure it's because they forgot.
They definitely did, because there's a whole story on why those three Pokemon exist, and they just went, nah.
Nah, I like the dinosaurs though. You gotta admit that
their biggest crime is they didn't just flip the situation.
Where it was the Swords of Justice in the past?
Yeah.
Yeah. You gotta admit, they're at least cool.
They are not. Dude.
Oh.
The Raikou one is so fucking stupid.
That's my favorite one.
It's so...
He's so cool. He's like a saber-tooth tiger.
He's not. He's not like a saber-toothed tiger. He's like a saber-toothed tiger before. They took his head and went,
Now he looks better. I didn't like Raikou before. Now I love him.
Plague, you're so wrong. What?
See, so this works out perfect because Entei had the third Pokemon movie, so that gave him the spotlight. And Suicune had Crystal, which gave Suicune the spotlight. And now Raikou has the best Paradox form out of all of them.
He has the worst Paradox form.
You're going to say Scream Tail is better than Raging Bolt. Eat your words. I bet you're so hungry. Eat those fucking words.
Look, okay, so here's the thing. I was meaning out of those three.
Okay.
Ooh,
you make me so angry.
It is by far the worst one.
You make you my blood pressure's rising.
They had an opportunity to give us a really cool Brontosaurus, and they gave us Raiku's head on a stick.
Oh, I like it so much.
Oh, is this your man?
That's my man.
There he is.
I love
That's
him.
the design.
But okay, well, what's wrong with Walking Wake?
It's super ugly.
Lizard with big mane. It's like the big running on water lizards.
It's not though.
Oh.
It's not though.
You make me want a cigarette.
It's so dumb, Plague. It's two tails. It's
Because it propels itself.
It's weird furry feet.
You hate Miles Tails Prower from Sonic? It's got two tails and weird furry feet.
It's just not good, Plague.
Oh yes, and Iron Crown, Iron Thorns, and who the fuck cares? They're so much better.
They are.
They look the same. At least the past paradoxes changes them.
Plague. You just discredited your argument for liking the Violet Paradox is better.
What do you mean?
You just discredited it.
How?
You said, "Oh, they look the same. They're just metal now."
Those ones, yes.
That's what Iron Jugulus is supposed to be. That's what Iron Thorns is.
Iron Jugulus looks like a radar dish. Iron Thorns. Wait, what'd you say? Iron Thorns, right?
Yeah.
Iron Thorns, isn't that the no, that's the is a reference to, that's the Tyranitar one. Is a reference to Black and White.
It's plague.
What?
You got me so worked up. I'm just calling you by your real name now.
Call me by my government name.
We're moving on. Plague, what's our main topic today? We're moving on with this because otherwise we'll be here for we only slotted this really for 15 minutes, and here we are at past 15 minutes.
Oh my god.
Because you can't see reason.
Oh, I see reason. I see a reason why you got bad opinions.
Oh yeah. Podcast is over. We're done.
Nah. So the main focus of today, ta-da! I got it switched over. We are going to do a tier list.
Two tier lists, probably. To be honest with you guys, we're kind of filling the void here because we haven't had D&D, so we don't have anything to really talk about.
Yeah. But we wanted to bring D&D back into the podcast.
Yeah, because we haven't talked about it in a while. So we're doing a breakdown of the classes. We're going to have a little discussion about it back and forth about, like, you know, classes. We've played most of these classes or seen them played in our group.
Yep.
You know, not just strength, but role play opportunity.
Right. Not what's meta, but what we think brings the most interesting aspect to the table.
Yep.
So our first option here is Barbarian, and we actually we like Grizzly, the part-time host, is a Barbarian main. He mainly plays Barbarian, so we've been able to see a good chunk of how good a Barbarian can be.
Yep. I'm putting Barbarian in A tier.
I agree. Look at that. See, we can come to terms at some point.
The reason being, normally before playing with Grizzly, I would put it in D tier. Because your opportunities are like, oh, big dumb smash.
Mm-hmm.
But Grizzly has done this with characters where they're not necessarily intelligent characters, but they're not morons.
No, I think that moron stereotype needs to die.
Yeah, so like Walter, because so the issue with it, this isn't me calling out Critical Role, is the issue is Grog was such a popular character with Critical Role, and he's just a big dumb, I want to rage, smash. So that kind of became the archetype for Barbarians.
Mm-hmm.
Grizzly has played a
Minotaur.
Grizzly's played a Minotaur Wild Magic Barbarian. Super fun, super cool. It actually saved him in a fight with another Minotaur when he was fighting his big bad evil guy.
Yep.
Because he got the teleport one.
He was able to teleport out of the range of the charm spell, right?
Yep.
It's such a dramatic moment. It was so good.
Yep. Or no. When he fought the Minotaur, he got the one where he could throw his weapon and call it back.
Oh yeah.
Yep. And then in Plague's campaign, he's playing a Path of Giants, which is a new one in one of the books that just came out recently, where you basically grow one size when you rage. There's some other bonuses, of course, but that's like that's the short summary of it.
Yeah, you get like elemental powers with it as well, but yeah,
Yep.
you gain a size, which is huge.
Yep, especially when you're playing like with like a lot of buff, like a bard, a wizard, all of a sudden you're like, oh, I went from medium to large. Oh, now I'm large to huge.
Mm-hmm. And now you just have to deal with a huge raging beast as a DM.
Yep. And I think at a certain level, I think the Path of Giants, I haven't looked that deep into it, but I think Path of Giants, you eventually can gain 2 sizes.
Oh, fuck.
I believe. Don't quote me on that, because I might be wrong.
Yeah, no, I think barbarians are a very good melee-focused class. They do things very well. The rage mechanic where you take half damage, that will always come in handy. You can basically just double your health pool.
Yep.
With an ability that you get at level 2, 1.
1, you get it at 1.
Yeah, you double your health pool.
Yep.
So that's always really cool. Yeah, I like the barbarian a lot.
Yeah, the barbarian's a lot of fun. It is a class that I would recommend for new players. It's super easy to get the grasp of what a barbarian does.
Mm-hmm.
That being said, you can also fall into a trap of like it's too simple.
Mm-hmm. I say use your imagination to create a very interesting barbarian, so that way it doesn't roll into the stereotype of me big, me hit with big weapon.
Yeah.
Like use roleplay elements to kind of facilitate anything that's missing from the gameplay element of the barbarian.
Yep.
That's what Grizzly does, and he does it very well.
Yep. Yeah, his characters are always a lot of fun.
On to your baby class or baby boy. I was going to say baby class.
So we say that I say I'm a bard maid, and I say it often. However, upon reflecting on past campaigns, I'm definitely a paladin main. Bard, I'm putting S.
Bard, you're putting S? Out of any of the supportive classes, I would agree. I want to say you can just do so much with a bard.
Yeah. And there's always the horny bard. If you're doing that, I'm putting you in D.
Yeah, that's
I'm putting on your level. I'm putting E. You're going on E. I'm putting you under the floorboards because there's so much more to a bard. There's so much like you can do as a bard. Seducing doesn't necessarily mean you're sleeping with them.
That's true. Charm.
Seducing might be like, oh, you're at the bar and the bartender was just serving some high politicians, and you might be seducing her to give you information.
Yeah.
You might just be flashing her the baby blues, as it were.
A little puppy dog eyes to get what you want.
Yeah, and the promise that you're gonna take her to bed or whatever, but
you don't have to do that.
No. The bard is such a good, interesting class. In my campaign, your wife played a bard, and I felt so bad because all of her spells are pretty short ranged, so she would just get smacked by whatever we were fighting.
Right, but she also had the advantage of having Tiny Hut.
Yep.
So it just basically solved all of our issues all the time.
Yeah. So Tiny Hut plus a Circle of Dreams Druid, just no one can interact with you guys with the party while they're sleeping, which is pretty hilarious.
No, it was really broken, really fun in a good way because it doesn't take away from anything. But no, you can do so much with bards. There's not a bad subclass of bards, especially for like fun moments at the table.
Yep.
So yeah, no,
Yeah,
I
no,
completely
exactly.
agree with S. So 2 for 2. Look at us agree.
Yep.
Wow.
This is probably where we're gonna disagree.
Okay, you
Um,
go first. You tell me.
cleric. I'm putting in C.
Okay, that is lower than what I was gonna have it.
Um,
I was gonna have it in A. Would you agree with B?
hmm.
Okay, give me your defense.
So the reason my issue with cleric is I feel like it doesn't do anything that the paladin doesn't kind of already do.
Oh, so you mean a wuss that can't smite?
In my mind, like the cleric feels like a lesser paladin. Sure you have the healing capabilities and stuff, but um, bard also does and can
Hmm.
do it more often. So
I feel
it's not
like
that
clerics get access to so many good spells though on top of the
they
healing
do,
spells.
but so do bards.
Yeah. You know, I can agree with C. I'll give it C, but it's high C.
Yeah, I would say high C. What was your defense for it being B
Well, it's
or
mainly
for
just the
being
fact
A?
that I feel like the cleric gets access to everything you could ever want that you're not limited to small versions of. Like,
Sure.
oh, I want high damage AoE spells. The cleric has it. I want long range spells. The cleric has it.
Mhm.
I want good healing that can keep my party alive. Cleric has it. I want to not die in one hit. Cleric has it.
Yeah, but it falls into the jack of all trades, master of none.
You know what? Yeah, I'll give you that.
That's my counter argument with that.
I'll give you that.
Druid.
Ooh.
We have not seen a lot of Druid play. Plague, I've given my opinion first for the last three.
Okay.
Give us your opinion.
Um, from a specific role play perspective, I want to put Druid in A. I
It's
think
just
there's
everything in A, huh?
no. You shut the fuck up. It's a good class. The main reason why is because again, this is not for meta. This is not for what should you play right now.
Sure.
It's like druids get access to so much extra role play and extra like imagination moments for people that can really
Sure.
just cement them into that world. And I feel like that's super interesting. Like if you become a druid and you have a specific animal that you want to be, you basically have two party members in one.
That's true. You know, there's also the option for animal companionship and etc. with
Yeah,
the Druid.
that is true.
Yep, that's true. I'm going. My vote was B.
Okay.
For much the similar reasons as you, but I feel like they're kind of it's kind of countering my argument of cleric. They're kind of a one trick pony.
Mm-hmm. They're
Um,
a better one trick pony
they're
because they can
they're
turn into a pony.
um, but they're like as a druid, you're very much like, oh, nature. Yeah, I'm in tune with nature. That's my thing. You know,
Mm-hmm.
with roleplay, it's kind you're kind of just stuck in that one box.
Right.
Uh,
Okay,
oh,
I can
excuse me.
agree with B. I can agree with B.
Which brings us to fighter.
Easy S.
Really,
Easy S.
you're going S?
So, I play a gunslinger, which is a subclass of a fighter in most versions.
Yes.
However, my gunslinger is through the heavy arms module. Um, but basically, it gains a lot of the good of a fighter
Mm-hmm.
without dedicating it to a fighter. But getting action surge, the champion subclass, um, fucking multi attack at most fighters, doing 6 rounds of damage in one turn. I
Sure,
suppose
sure.
I suppose that is going a little meta. Um, Fighters are also pretty generic.
Yep.
So
That being, and this isn't we should preface this with this isn't saying that the way you play your class is wrong. This isn't us saying the way you role play character. Your fighter might be a super interesting character,
Right.
but we're saying like, as a whole, in my opinion, fighters are also a C.
Really?
Mm-hmm. Because I'm sorry, but Human is not exactly Human, the human variant fighter. Probably not a very interesting character.
Yeah. I kind of bit my tongue there towards the end where I was like, oh, but it is kind of generic.
Yeah, because
It,
you were immediately like, "Oh, I don't want an S anymore."
and yeah, no, I was going to drop it down to like a B.
I can agree with B.
Okay.
Like because fighter, there's a lot of really interesting fighter subclasses.
Yeah. The champion is super cool.
Champion's kind of lame, but Echo Knight's real cool.
Rune Knight, is Rune Knight a fighter subclass?
Yes,
That sounds super cool.
it's super cool. Rune Knight's cool. Echo Knight's cool. And for those reasons, I can put it up to B.
Okay. I don't have a lot of experience with Monk. I always hear just bad things. Like a Monk
Elaborate.
is just a fighter that doesn't punches. Which yeah, if you can make it interesting, absolutely. Like 100%. But like from dabbling a bit into the gameplay side of things, I don't see any subclasses that are genuinely interesting in my eyes, even from like a roleplay perspective. I feel like if you wanted to play a melee-based class, you have barbarian and fighter available to you, and you picked the third one to be funny.
Yeah, I'm putting Monk in D.
I would agree with D.
As a person who DMs or used to DM, nothing takes me out of my immersion more than there's a guy physically punching the dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And not in a sense of like he dropped his weapon, this is his last stand, that's all he can do. His main mode of attack is punching a dragon.
Mm-hmm.
And I'm like, this is the worst.
It's taking you out of it. Like I said, from a role play perspective, it just doesn't really have much going for it.
From a roleplay perspective, your monks are kind of doing the same thing that a cleric is doing roleplay wise, in my opinion. Because you're not necessarily a man of the cloth, but you're like a man of the robe. You know, you have like these like ideals that you have to adhere to really roleplay a monk. I think, in my opinion. If there is a roleplay class that I would like to play out of monk, it's definitely Drunken Fist.
Yeah, out of the ones that I know, that would be the one I would want.
Playing like a monk that like got excommunicated, but he still has all his monk values, but because he's lost his monastery, he's turned to this alcoholism, which then has evolved to him being this Drunken Fist master. Kind of cool.
Yeah, I can see that. I can agree with that.
But it just isn't enough to pull it out of D.
Yeah. I'll give you that. I'm in agreement. Up next, we got Paladin, though.
Yes.
Tell me a little bit about Paladin.
S. Easy.
S.
Easy S.
Okay. Below Bard or above Bard?
Below Bard.
Okay.
Paladin can kind of do the same thing Bard can, where Charisma is one of your higher stats. So you can kind of like talk to people. You can convince people to do stuff. You can convince people to not do stuff. A lot of Paladins, you're playing like a very hero of the realm type. People respect you. You know, you might find out if people don't like you. In Goshi's campaign, your wife, I'm playing Torv, which is a character that I've absolutely fallen in love with.
Good.
I love Torv. The first character I played was also a paladin. He was your typical greatsword, big damage paladin. He was a dragonborn named Chazor the Voiceless.
Chazor.
But he was just big damage, greatsword paladin. But Torv is big shield, stand behind me, paladin.
Mm-hmm.
And he does it very well, much to the annoyance of Ghosty.
Uh, Specifically, he does it really well because Dea's there providing cover
Yeah.
fire for him.
Oh, so a little backstory for everyone at home. Um, we were playing D&D, and because Tor, I have built to use a shield. He has Shield Master. He has the shield fighting style,
Yep.
which means those two combinations I can plus Shield of Faith, which bumps you up to an AC of 20. I can impose disadvantage on an enemy as a reaction. I can, after I make a melee attack action, I can then make the shove action, which I can push them 5 feet or force them prone. Which I have been using to actually push our rogue out of combat because it doesn't have to target the same enemy.
Yeah.
So a lot of times the rogue will get in and he's like, I don't have the bonus action, get out. I'm like, I got you, and I'll just boink, bounce him out because you can't take an opportunity attack if you get forced out of combat.
It's true.
I'm having a lot of fun with Torv just standing there going, ha ha ha. But Torv is holding off 2 sea monsters. He's just taking it all in.
Mm-hmm.
And it's like 3-4 rounds into this combat. And Plague goes, I like to think Torv is only surviving because Dea is helping. Dea, who is Plague's Kalishtar gunslinger, shot at them one time.
No, it was more than once. So, bit of context.
He attacked them twice.
Okay.
Which was the same attack action.
Okay. So, I'm going to give you the inside of my point of view. The reason why I said that is because I was thinking of a cinematic moment between these two characters where we're on the board of a ship playing like a movie, not like a game. Like we're watching these characters and Torv is got his shield up and he's blocking the sea monsters, and then one of them goes in for an attack behind him, and then Dea's bullet just bounces off its head and the force pushes the monster's head back, and I give him a sly wink and a smile. I'm just talking purely from a mental image of how this fight would be going.
But also, the reason he said bullets bouncing off, Dea didn't do damage to the sea monsters.
I did some.
No, you didn't.
No, I didn't.
It's ooh. He said, I'm like, sure, Plague. I guess I won't have my moment.
I was just thinking of a cool cinematic moment. Because I was the only other one attempting to hit those monsters.
Yeah, that's true.
So I will say that. So there was a good moment between us where you're still not getting hit, but I'm just helping.
No, you said the only reason Torv is not getting
The only
hit.
reason was because I was helping. I'm providing cover fire.
But yeah, like I said, you can do the same thing as a bar where you can convince people, talk to people.
Right.
You get to be that frontliner for your team. You get to be the hero complex. You get to do the man of the cloth thing that the cleric gets to do. In our party right now, we have a cleric and a paladin of the same god.
Yep.
And they've traveled together for a long time. They're adopted brothers. And their interactions are a lot of fun because Grizzly's character, who's a cleric, is oh, give us strength, and Torv, who's the paladin, is my strength just comes from him. I don't have to ask for it.
Yeah.
Which is a really interesting dynamic. And they're also adopted brothers. So, onto the ranger. Go ahead.
No, I was going to say it's a really good moment. I love the way that you and Grizzly kind of play off each other with this similar upbringing, but two very different ways of portraying it.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah, on to everyone's favorite punching bag, the Ranger.
I'm going to put it in B.
I was going to put it higher than D, which is where a lot of people think it should go. But no, I'm fine with B.
My reason being It has the exact same things as it's a druid fighter combo.
Mm-hmm.
No other reason than that.
Fair enough.
You get the animal companion from the ranger, um, but you get like the bow fighting and the you know the in touch with nature of the druid. You get you can dual wield weapons like a fighter. You can be like the scout for your team. Um, the ranger lets you be Legolas.
Yeah, you can be Legolas.
I mean, the fighter is more Legolas, but you get the picture. You get to be that sneaky guy who runs forward and is like, oh, 16 goblins walked through here 12 hours ago.
Yep, you can track, you can scout, you can use
Yeah.
nature to your advantage. There's
I
definitely a
wish
lot.
I wish favorite terrain was better.
Oh, yeah.
Favorite terrain just feels so gimmicky. It's
Yeah. If there was a way to change terrain
yeah.
to your favored terrain, that'd be really cool.
Yeah.
But no, I would agree. I feel like a lot of people give Ranger too much flack. I mean, the Ranger from
Yeah.
a roleplay perspective it can be really interesting. We've seen a really good Ranger. One of our buddies who was in our last campaign and this campaign, he
Yep.
played a Ranger last campaign. And, again, he was always running ahead and scouting. He was definitely the first one to kind of perceive things happening. If you
Yep.
can play it like that, it's very interesting and it's a good member to have on your party.
Yeah, he played the Drake Warden, which is a very good class.
Hmm.
I feel like people just look at the player's handbook range and they're like, eh. But the Drake Warden's very good because you can just apply elemental damage to every attack
Yep.
for your whole team.
Yep. There was a lot of that. That really helped us out.
Yep. Exactly.
Yeah. No, I'm completely fine with Ranger being in B. Now
Yep.
let's talk about this broken piece of shit. The Rogue.
You got beef with the rogue?
I don't have beef. It's just the Rogue is so good. Oh. We went so long.
When did you lose me?
Right after I said, but the Rogue is so good.
Yeah. Okay. 3, 2, 1. I feel like the rogue is either A or it is D.
It's a very double-edged blade. Yeah, I get it.
So the rogue of like, I was kind of a street urchin kid. I kind of learned how to pick pockets. You know, I've come up. I'm learning how to be a normal person, but I still have these skills to my availability. Yada yada yada. I was an assassin, but now I've reverted from that. Now I'm working with a guild to. Now I'm working with a guild, and I'm only assassinating things that like goblin leaders, bandit leaders, etc. Assassinating for good, if you will.
Yeah.
And we have a player the player that played the Rangers playing a rogue this go around, and it's very much that their character is like, I'm trying to be a better person for this group of ragtag misfits that I have now joined.
Yep. Sometimes my instincts get the better of me as a rogue, but for the most part, I'm trying to be a better person.
Yeah, but if you're like I don't sit with the party, I brood in the corner, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
That's a D.
Yeah.
Ugh, it all started when my parents didn't show up to my birth. Like, but our experiences with rogues, I'm saying A.
Yeah, no. I feel like rogues, they do a lot of damage. It's very much, it can fall into the edgy backstory, but just because it's edgy doesn't mean it's bad.
Yep. And I feel like rogue is simple to grasp. But you roll a ton of dice, and that's really at the end of the day what it's about, right?
Yeah, you want to have fun rolling them dice. I get it.
Yep.
I get it. On to Sorcerer.
I'm torn on the sorcerer. I'm kind of leaning towards C, personally.
Okay.
Wild magic is cool in concept, but it falls flat on its face, and that should be like the super fun roleplay class.
Yeah, I can completely see that.
But the roleplay table, or the wild magic table is so bland and flat that it's just, ugh.
It's 100 different choices, right?
Yeah, and they're all just meh.
And can't you only get that if you roll a 1? Oh, son of a bitch. It's always at the same time. I swear to God, it's always right when it hits 11. Can't you only get it when you roll a 1?
Yes.
What's
Or
the
one or
point?
I think it's a 1 or a 20.
Okay, but still, what's the point?
Yeah, it's not like the wild magic barbarian where they're all pretty good, and they just happen.
Yeah.
Um, and then like the dragon sorcerer, it's that one. It kind of falls on your DM how they're steering the campaign.
Right.
So like the dragon bloodline, or I can't even think of what the third one is. If you're like going to meet your draconic parent or your draconic ancestor, super cool.
Yeah. I get it.
It leaves a lot of time for, you know, role play and etc. But if you never do any of that, it's like, yeah, you're just a wizard with a couple extra tricks and less spell slots. Is how
Yeah.
it feels.
Yeah. No, I completely get it. I would say, bit of a spoiler here. I'm going to say Wizard's probably the worst of the two. But
You're gonna put wizard in D, aren't you?
I am planning. You know what? You want to just do that? We'll do Wizard now.
You know what? Sure, because I know you're gonna talk about warlock. We're putting sorcerer in C though.
Sorcerer in C. Yeah, no, I got Sorcerer in C.
I think there's plenty of opportunity for a sorcerer to really break out and be like an enjoyable character and be a lot of fun.
Not so much with
But there's
Wizard in my
also
mind.
what?
I said not so much with Wizard in my mind.
Okay, let's go ahead. Let's talk about it because I'm playing a wizard in your campaign, so I want to hear your thoughts.
So it has nothing to do with a role play element, because again, we've had one campaign with a wizard. It's just out of the magic classes, it just feels like the worst.
Because your backstory is I'm a book nerd.
No, it has nothing to do with that in my mind, unless if that's what you're saying.
That's my biggest downfall with wizard. It's not like sorcerer where it's like my dad was dragon.
Yeah,
It's not like the warlock where like my power comes from XYZ.
yeah. It's just I guess I have yet to see why I should play a wizard over playing a sorcerer or a bard. And maybe it's all to personal
Sure.
preference. Maybe again, I'm still new to D&D. Similar with monk. That's why I have monk in D as well, is because I haven't had enough time to see monk, and there's nothing to drag me towards that.
I have monk in D because I hate it.
Fair enough. Fair
Uh,
enough.
Wizard, yeah. So if you're not playing like College of the Scribes or the basic like College of the Scribes, if you're not playing just a scribe wizard, if you're playing like a necromancy wizard or an illusion wizard, or those classes are kind of lame. But College of Scribes is, or I keep saying college. I'm just gonna call it College of Scribes is super cool because it lets you change your damage type on your spells,
Super cool.
which is super cool.
That does sound cool. Again, this might change after the campaign that I'm running, because I will finally have a bit of experience with a wizard. But
Yep.
Wizard and Monk were my two lowest before even starting this tier list, just because of the fact that everything else had something that drew me towards it, except for those two.
Mm-hmm. I'm putting wizard in C because the backstory part of it's like I just learned magic from a book, you know.
Mm-hmm. I mean, hard work and dedication and studying will pay off, but
Yeah.
I don't know, just being born with it or getting trained by a dragon is cooler.
Yeah.
On to Warlock. I'm gonna put Warlock at C.
Whoa.
Yeah. Yeah.
Oh.
I'm gonna put it high. I'm gonna put it above Cleric. But so I'm gonna put it high C. But
Okay. Go off, King. This is Plague's favorite class.
I love warlocks so much. I feel like warlocks from a roleplay perspective and from like a backstory perspective can be some of, if not the most interesting class. The idea of making a pact with some sort of something is super cool, and then like learning from your whatever your patron might end up being, getting those types of elemental attacks and stuff like that can be super cool. And it's like, I don't have to be a bad person, but I have these bad powers. Oh man, you have me sold. But then the gameplay happens.
I was wondering if you're gonna bring it to this. I would never recommend a warlock to a new player
No.
because it always feels like you're especially if you have another spellcaster in the party.
Yeah.
Because you're gonna play next to a bard, and at level 3 they have twice as many spell slots as you. And by the way, you have 2 spell slots till like level 14.
Yup. But you get cantrips.
I wondered why you had put it down to C, and that makes sense now.
Yeah.
I was gonna put in A or low S or high A.
It can.
From
It
from
can.
a purely role player perspective, I think it's an S or an A. Specifically because TikTok has ruined me. Because I've seen these great D&D players role play out these things with like an archfey who isn't necessarily evil. Who's just like, I offered my friendship, and in that offer somehow I became your patron, so your power comes from me.
Mm-hmm.
And it's literally them trying to be friends with this person they gave their power to.
I like that.
Or, the idea of I have given you my power as a patron because I am dying, so I need to train my replacement.
Right. Like, from a roleplay perspective, like I said, it's like my favorite. It's so interesting.
I will say for you, Lobie.
Okay.
We smack talk Cranston, who is Plague's first character.
Yep, he was my warlock.
We smack talk Cranston, but Cranston was great. I like Cranston a lot. He was a good character.
Cranston kind of devolved into what a lot of warlocks devolve into, with such limited options and 2 spell slots. Not a lot of good subclasses, especially in like the player's handbook, where you're going to just use Eldritch Blast.
Yep.
And that is every turn you're going to Eldritch Blast. And whenever you're not Eldritch Blasting, you're trying to Eldritch Blast. Like, there are obviously other ways to play the character, but it just doesn't get anything to stand it above or alongside any of the other classes. If anything, it is a nerfed class because, again, you only get 2 spell slots. You get access to a lot of cantrips, but cantrips are cantrips are weak on purpose because they don't cost a spell slot. And I don't know. Yeah. I would agree with, I'm going to put it dead in the middle, and that's specifically because it's one of the worst to play, but best to role play.
Yeah.
And D&D is fixing it. They're fixing it.
They're fixing it. Yep. And would you look at that, Plague? We have like a really good bell curve here.
I agree.
That's kind of wild.
That is kind of wild, but no, I genuinely think that if anyone who doesn't know D&D to look at this list, and this is a pretty comprehensive list of both not only gameplay perspective, but also from like how fun it would be to role play. What can you come up with? What would be creative enough to draw interest from the party?
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah, no, I have no issues with that. Well, we're running a little late on time. Holy cow.
Yeah, we are. So I think that's where we're going to call it, Plague.
Yeah, 100%.
I think that's a good episode 5.
In the bag, baby. In the bag.
A little behind the scenes. We're going to record episode 6 next week instead, but you'll still see it at the normal time.
Yep.
Because when we normally record, I will be in Chicago for Adepticon. if you're watching and you're not already coming down to Chicago with me, I go down with a group. If you're somehow watching this and you're not already there, stop and say hi. I'll be in the Age of Sigmar room all day.
All day.
All 4 days. All day, all 4 days.
Whoo, that's a lot of Age of Sigmar.
It sure is. I'm excited. It'll be a really good time.
Yeah, 100%. The next time you hear from us, the next time you hear from me, I will have already started my new job. Yep. And we will have done D&D, so there's definitely going to be plenty to talk about within a week. So I'm not too worried about that.
Yeah, we're doing D&D this Saturday, so we're excited.
Very excited. Where can the people find you?
Well, like I said, I still am not back streaming yet, so pretty much here is about the only place I am. I really need to get back on my YouTube grind. Which is just youtube.com/jessefish.
Very nice, very nice.
Very good, very nice. And maybe I should start recording some Helldivers content because Plague and I have been having a lot of fun playing Helldivers.
Oh yeah. Like I said, the interest is still there.
Yeah, exactly.
If you guys want to come check me out, I stream every Sunday. I've done it like 2 Sundays in a row now, so I can say that.
Oh, it's a thing now.
I stream every Sunday at twitch.tv/Big Papa Plague. I'm uploading on TikTok and YouTube under the same name. No spaces in there. And yeah, come check us out. If you want to watch me do some random JRPG bullshit, yeah, that's going to be the place to be. I'll probably have some bad opinions for you to make fun of.
That's probably true.
It's probably true. But yeah, I think episode 5 is good. It's in the bag.
It's in the bag. We're episode 5.
Episode 5, baby.
We almost have a season worth.
Yeah, we almost have a full season worth. We're like an hour and a half per episode. People can binge us now.
People can binge us now. We're bingeable.
We're bingeable. We will be starting to post the podcast on Spotify probably this week.
Yeah, like I said, guys, I'm really sorry. I kind of had some family stuff pop up.
100%.
And it just killed my extra time.
Yeah. No worries there, man. No worries whatsoever. When stuff happens, you got to be there for each other. And
exactly.
Yeah. So don't worry. It's coming this week. And yeah, I don't really have anything else.
I don't know. It was a good episode.
Good episode. Thanks, guys. Thanks for listening. Thanks for watching. Stay hydrated. Love you all.
Toodles.